Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at JASMY. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here now. Basically, what we were looking for previously when we last did a video was looking for that possibility that we could actually come down one more time here in a C wave. The thing is, within this structure, it is starting to develop in such a way that it could potentially be a triangle within here. So it's important that, if this is a triangle, where it is going to be important. So what we're going to have to watch is where this breaks to. If this breaks to the upside, potentially this could have been a B wave triangle in this sense, where we could actually look to break up one more time. The problem is, if we're looking at this as a triangle in a B wave position, technically speaking, it wouldn't have confirmed because we would have only had A, B, C. We'd still need to form this D wave for confirmation and then still form an E wave to the downside. So within this, basically what we'd be looking for would be a structure like this playing out, looking at another three-wave move to the upside for a D wave, and then another three-wave move for this E, and then actually looking to break to the upside here. So this is the one way we can look at the structure. The alternative way is looking at it in a fourth wave position. So we did discuss this in the previous video because we came down to that 1.618. We need to be a little bit cautious that this isn't in fact in the opposite direction here. And basically, what we're looking for is that possibility that within here, we could have this as a wave into this high. This is a B, C, D wave potentially confirmed already. As long as we don't cross this B wave, this is still valid. Basically, this is the same idea for both ways round. Basically, we cannot cross this 4682 region and this region up here of this 5557. If we cross above that, then it would invalidate this as a potential triangle. But I am still looking for that possibility that within here, we could see one more three-wave move to the upside here. So just based off of a 0.618, it doesn't always go to this area, but based off of a 0.618 of this D wave, potentially that could mean that we could be looking for a move up into these highs again of this 5233 to this 5205 region. And if we do actually get a three-wave move to the upside here, which then rejects in a five-wave move and actually looks to push down towards this zone of this 0438 one to this 4032 region, then potentially, we could actually look and say that this five-wave move is completed to the downside. So this wouldn't necessarily be a good thing, though, because it wouldn't be, we would have to then anticipate that at a minimum, we're going to get a three-wave move up and another five-wave move to the downside. And because of the depth that this has traveled, if we throw that breakout back on, just want to look at that support zone. It would really stress this 0.786 at this 3450. By the time unless this move to the upside was quite deep, potentially what we would then be looking at is the fact that we could actually look to move down deep enough that it would look to invalidate this move and actually take out this 007 002711 region. Basically, if we move down below that region, this bullish potential becomes invalidated, and we'd have to look at one of the other options. Like we said in the previous videos, potentially we could have a Y wave into here. Alternatively, we could form an X wave up and still set another low here. So we need to be a little bit careful with that. We'll discuss that at the end of the video. But for the most part, I'm looking at this at the moment to see whether we actually move back up into this zone of this 5233 to this 5205, and whether we actually do look to get a rejection in a five-wave move to the downside. If we do reject down here in a five-wave structure, potentially this could be our target range, and we could actually look at this as potentially playing out as a completed move here into this zone. What we'd have to be careful of, because of the way that it's formed, we'd have to also just be mindful, because I was looking at the possibility last time that this could be a flat correction in here, which is still viable, and potentially this could be a W. We get an X wave triangle and still break up to the upside. That doesn't really matter. The same rules apply. We shouldn't take this B wave low or the C wave high until it actually breaks to the upside. This would be the other way around: A, B, C, D, E, and then we break up into this zone up here. This 5992 to the 7452 would be a typical zone. So if we do move back up past this 5893 zone, basically that would invalidate that count of this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So if we do move back up above this zone of this yellow line, effectively what we would then have is just a three-wave move here. And the problem here is, because of the fact that we can count this as basically a three-wave move to the downside at the moment. Even if we do get a triangle here, we need to be cautious that this doesn't develop into a bigger move where this becomes an A, this is a triangle as a B, and then we get a much deeper correction. And that would actually look to push us much deeper within this. So we'll have to see if we just get a single five-wave move off the back of it. Potentially that could be our five-wave move completed. Alternatively, if we do look to push down deeper here, and we're using, so yeah, that would be down towards this 2962. So it wouldn't invalidate this. It would put us really close though. So if we do break down here and we form a five-wave structure, and that fails to actually take this high point again, we need to be cautious that we don't get another five-wave move down, and which could look to actually make this whole structure here basically a W, X, and a Y to the downside as a double zigzag. So that would look to actually push us quite deep, depending on whether we actually achieve one-to-one. But yeah, as long as the 3450 area holds, potentially we could still see that upside potential. Looking for either this as a three-wave move. Obviously, depending on how low we go, we'll change this one-to-one target. Currently, it's still sitting at this zone of this 0128. But if we do push down lower, that would obviously change this target area slightly as well. So if I just throw this on. So for instance, if we had to come down to this area of this 2962, basically one-to-one would only be just above this high point here. And then 1618, which would be a typical third wave, would be here at this 1839. The problem is, if we do move down this low, if we are looking at this as a five-wave move potentially, it wouldn't give us much space for this fourth wave to form here. So it would be probable that in that case that, actually maybe this would develop as a triangle or sort of a more sideways correction, something like a, WXY or something like that, so that it doesn't actually come down as deep. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But for the most part, at the moment, we are looking for this potential for, as long as we stay between this 5557 to this 4610 area. So that's what I'm looking out for here. If we do break to the downside here, potentially that fifth wave target could be one that we look for. And that would be looking at this zone down here of this 4381 to this 4032. The only thing is, to look at this as a fourth wave, you would have to then argue that potentially this was just a WXY in here, and then you're getting a 1 2 1 2, and then this would potentially actually break lower than this area. So got to be careful. If it does break down here, it could change this target area, but this is just the typical fifth wave target zone that I would be looking at. If we want to measure this in a slightly different way, potentially we could come down into this wave 3, up into this wave 4, and then so a 382 would be down here at this 4582. That would be that would be higher than this third wave. But the 618 could be an interesting area. This 3949, if we do actually look to push down past this zone here, and then that it could actually look to bring us into that area there. Alternatively, if we look at a different targets for this, potentially if we throw this onto here, let me just change this quickly. One-to-one of that wave one would actually bring us here to this 4086 area. So, this little pocket here does have a bit of confluence within it. If we do look to break down here, it is also possible. within the structure. I'm looking at it as a triangle, but we could still see this play out as a diagonal where this becomes one, two, potentially we form three, four, and five, and we actually take this B wave low, but still play out in three-wave structure, but just working in a diagonal slanted to the downside here rather than a horizontal triangle. Okay, so it's going to be key if we hold this B wave potentially we can still look for this triangle and we hold this high here of this 5557. However, if we do start to break down deep and we take this B wave, but we still do so in three-wave structure, something like this, potentially that could actually mean that we're already within this fifth wave, and this is one, two, three, four, and a five to the downside. And then we could actually look to complete within this box area down here. So keep an eye on that. It is also possible within here that we could look to break up, but the thing is within this, so I'm going to discuss this, but the current structure isn't very good. Like I said, this triangle seems to be the neatest way of looking at this. If we were looking at this triangle to actually break to the upside, basically the target zones for where we think these waves would be slightly different. And what we'd be looking for would be the potential that, like I said, this is an A, this is a B, potentially this is a C wave completed, D, and then E. So these targets these are just based off 0.618. These aren't accurate all the time. It doesn't have to be all the waves. Sometimes it's alternating waves that have these correspondences. But sometimes it is all of them. So this is just something to keep an eye on. So that D wave would potentially look to take this high. So if we looking at these two different options, basically if we take this high, because this target's pretty much the same as the opposite triangle scenario, if we do move up in a three-wave move into this zone, what's going to be key here is whether we move down in a three-wave move and find support again and then actually look to move away. If we then break back above this D wave high, that would invalidate that bearish triangle. But if we do actually just start to form five-wave moves to the downside, which actually takes the C wave, then basically what we would have is confirmation that the triangle is complete and looking to break to the downside. So that's just discussing it as a triangle. There is a couple of ways of looking at this. Potentially, we could argue this is a one and a two in here, and we could say that we have some kind of a diagonal in here for another one and a two. But really, what we would need to see then is breaking out of these ranges. And even then, basically, what I'd be looking for would still be those same targets. That one to one would actually be here at this series, the 6166. So that would be looking at this just as a three-wave move to the upside. Alternatively, if we do push up higher here towards the 7305, potentially we could then be looking at this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into this zone, another fourth and a fifth to the upside. So keep an eye on this. This is going to be our key area if we are looking for that breakout. As long as these support ranges hold, yeah, we can continue to look for these zones. But yeah, if we start to invalidate the triangle, then potentially we could be looking to move straight down towards that fifth wave target area. And then from that completion, basically what we'd be looking for within this is if we do get a five-wave move actually play out to the downside, I'd be watching this move to the upside again. And potentially, what we would want to see here is looking for us to get for confirmation of this actually looking to break down directly from here. What we'd then want to see is a three-wave move to the upside, potentially really want to stay below this 7235, and then actually looking for continuation again in another five-wave structure. And then if we do take this low point here, potentially that could be enough to complete the correction, because there is a couple of ways we're looking at it. Potentially we're talking about a WX, YX, and a Z. That one to one of the Z though is much lower down here. And basically towards this zone here of this 6084. So this is something that we could still see to move to the downside here. There is that possibility that we could move directly down. 618 would be the minimum I'd want to see here really. If this move is going to be if it's going to be a WXYZ, But I mean this target's worked off of the high point here. So a 618 off of our direct location would actually be down here at this 1397 area. That's what I'd want to see as a minimum. However, if we do push up again one more time for this X wave here, that's why we're looking for that possibility of looking to break up. This could then become an A, a B, and a C, and we actually look to move up towards this 1-to-1 of this X wave here, and then we'd be looking for that possibility of actually of finding that move there, and then looking for that breakdown from this point here. Have a three-wave move to the upside here, basically looking for another three-wave move to the downside, looking to target out some of these key areas and potentially into this 1-to-1 that we have down here. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both Primex BT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out for yourself. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.